We've seen men get off these boats. Where are the refugees seeking asylum from war-torn countries? 13,000 Albanians are using the asylum route. That's wrong. That should be nipped in the bud. And the sooner we actually get to destroying the business model that is actually human trafficking, in my view, the better.
Because we talk about how I take the view that you have to be cruel to be kind when it comes to this. All we've seen is the numbers soar.
Yes.
Talking about double what we've had this year coming last year coming this year, so that would be nearly 100,000 potentially. Of course, we don't know if that will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised considering how they seem to be going up exponentially. What do you think the answer is?
I don't know what the answer is.
But you're not the border force.
I'm not the border force, but, you know, I know for a fact, as soon as the fact that anyone who arrives in this country, either by a legitimate plane or legitimate methods, as soon as they mention the word asylum and seeking, everything has to change. They have to be treated in a different way from those that they know who aren't legitimate. But the minute they utter those words, they have to be encapsulated, they have to be chartered, they have to be processed in a way as if they were seeking asylum.
Narinder, it does seem like the general public is being gaslit a little bit, or sometimes at least, because people can see with their own eyes that many of these people are young men from Albania and from other countries who wouldn't traditionally be seen as asylum seekers or refugees. Do you think there needs to be a level of honesty from some areas of the press, actually, who seem to try to be telling us that everyone who's crossing the channel is a victim in one way or another?
Well, I think you run the risk of the genuine victims who do need help, and we are a compassionate country. We do need to take them in. And you said a very good point, young men. We need young men. Our economy is inactive. We need the workers. I'd say migration, you know, compared to the rest of the world, there's 23 million refugees in the world. We take a very little amount. And this argument that, oh, we don't have the housing, we don't have this, we don't have that.
We don't.
It's weak because we do have them, because you took 200,000 Ukrainians and you took 220,000 Hong Kongers.
Well,
and we suddenly found the housing.
The difference there is, with the Ukrainians at least, is that was a scheme which relied on British families putting them up.
We found the schools, we found the NHS, but we found everything.
And the idea was that it would be temporary. So, i.e., when the war in Ukraine is over, and hopefully it will be this year.
Who says they will go back?
People will go back.
We don't know that. But I'd say young men, we've got such an ageing population. We need this. They will drive the economy. They will spend money.
I'm sorry, but Mark White has done some fantastic research into this and real journalism, and he's looked at this and spoken to people who are actually there at the coalface on the border, and he knows full well that many of these young men, particularly the ones from Albania, are not coming for refuge.
No, they're not.
Coming to take part in our what do you call it, the black economy,
the black
shadow economy.
Absolutely.
Well, had we not come out of the Dublin Agreement with Brexit, we could have sent people back, but because of that, we can't. Then
hang on, you said you want them here.
Well, no, but I'm saying if your argument is to win, we should have stayed in Brexit, or we should have somehow stayed in the Dublin Agreement. Now, the Dublin Agreement meant that we could send them back, but we can't send them back now. The problem is we need to change the law.
It is within the gift of our government to do something about it. Do you think the will is just not there?
Because the will is there, but it's become such a political hotbed at the moment. And to be honest with you, it's the least, I think, of the government's worries at the moment. We need to tackle the incidents, the terrible waiting lists and deaths in the NHS. We need to tackle schools, education. We need to tackle tax. We need to tackle the cost of living crisis. And the fact that the statistics today that we're going to have double the amount of refugees put back into the country, where we have a homelessness issue because of poverty, driven not only by 12 years of...
We also have economic and
inactivity.
12 years of Conservative governance, notwithstanding what's happened in Scotland under the SNP for the past 14 years... You know, I think that
and they're fussing about gender recognition. I mean,
exactly,
you can't make it up.
Exactly, you can't make it up. And it's really, really sad. But there is no women and children on these boats. It is men,
women
it's criminals.
And children don't come first.
Narinder, this is specifically wrong, and it's so wrong on so many levels. This is a business model that the Albanians are using to gain access to the UK, and they're actually using it. How many barbershops have been set up? You know, it's this black economy.
You're
like
saying all Albanians are criminals. I mean,
I didn't say all were.
Hang on, that's not fair. Claire never said that. Anyway, we're going to have to move on from this